Joining us here on 6 p.m. Prime is Padma, the daughter of the slain IAS officer Krishnaiah. Padma, I know this is a very, very difficult time for you, but with Anand Mohan, the man convicted for murdering your father, being released and walking out of jail today, do you feel let down by the system?
Absolutely, because it's so disheartening that the prime accused Anand Mohan, who was responsible for the killing of my father, is roaming on the streets today. I mean, there is a celebration that's going on in Bihar right now. I'm surprised that have people forgotten the kind of service that my father had done to the state of Bihar. I've never expected this from the Bihar government or the Indian government. So this is very disheartening today.
You know, the kind of reactions that we've been getting in Padma, tragically so, because you see every political party today coming out and saying it was okay to release him, and this is because of a certain, that he belongs to a certain upper caste group which is extremely influential in Bihar. So it's wartime politics at play. The reality of that is that nobody is fighting this fight with you, that this is a fight that you're fighting on your own. Do you feel that? Do you feel that, you know, you're alone in this battle for justice?
Of course. I know people maybe they are not in favor of us because they could be having their own selfish reasons. But if people of India are not aware about my father, I think they should go ahead and read the kind of service that he had rendered in the state of Bihar. So it's okay even if we are fighting this alone. I think we are enough to voice out, and I'm hoping that my voice reaches to Bihar and to the politicians at least who feel that the service that my father had done was, beyond what anybody could think of.
I can imagine how disturbing it must be for you to see those images of the welcome that this convict, that this murderer is receiving. How old were you, Padma, when your father was murdered? You mentioned, of course, that you wish people knew about how he served people, how he helped the people of Bihar. Can you tell us about your memories about how your father was passionate about serving people in the country?
I was just 4 years old, and there are a lot of things my mother used to share with us, with me and with my sister. And there were also at times that I used to sleep so late in the night because I had a habit of sleeping with my dad. And there were so many days that he used to not come home because when there were floods in Bihar, he used to stay back with them, and then he wanted to experience the suffering. It's just not that, he could just let them go and then come back home and sleep well. So he was a very emotionally moved person, and that is why maybe, his name is so highlighted today. And the memories that I share with my father are very strong. Life has been extremely difficult for us since the time he left us.
Padma, at this point, do you still hope? Do you still pray that there will be justice? Are you hopeful that somewhere the courts will step in, the judiciary will step in and give you justice where our politicians are failing?
Yeah, and I'm hoping that this should happen. And it's just not the state of Bihar, but there are also other states who have been affected by this. And this gangster thing and this mafia thing, which, people kind of like rule in Bihar. The politicians are criminals. So this talk about Bihar should go away. I think that was my father's dream, that there should be no criminals, there should be no Naxalites, his dream was that. He dreamt of that of Bihar. So I think today, all of this is happening. Maybe there's a strong reason behind it because it was my father's wish. And I'm hoping that the Indian judiciary system thinks about this. And if it is requested by the Supreme Court that we should walk into the Supreme Court and kind of like narrate our experience and our stories, we will definitely do that, and we'll try our best to see if we can get justice.
Yeah, you're very, very right when you say that perhaps we should be having a rethink about how our system works. If we're talking about remission, about people walking free, in the Bilkis case, with rapists walking out, in this case with your father, where the murderer has walked out in this way. Do you feel betrayed in a sense by society also by what's happened, Padma? This is such a painful chapter, the most painful chapter of your life that's been reopened. It's a fresh wound essentially for your entire family. How have you and your family really coped with this?
Well, it's just not India. I think even in a small company, if you're trying to, or in a group of people, if you're trying to do good things, it's very difficult. If you're alone trying to do something for the betterment of the company or for the betterment of the people, there are a lot of negative people around who are harmful, right? So I personally feel that this fear in people should go away, and it was not there for quite some time. But now that Anand Mohan has been released and a lot of criminals have been released, we here staying in Telangana don't feel safe until today. That fear is still there in us. या कोई भी आ सकता है, कभी भी कोई भी आके कुछ कर सकता है. You know, that fear is still there in us. So, like I said, PM Modi ji should be thinking about this, that if people are fighting so much and we are just alone in this fight, like you said. So let's just hope for the best. All that I can say is that.
I can imagine how difficult this is. So more power to you, Padma. Yes, you're alone in the sense our politicians are not standing by you, but we promise that we are with you in this fight. I will continue ensuring that your voice is heard. Thanks very much, Padma, for joining us.